Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nikonsat. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Nigeria from Brazil, where he attended the G20 Leaders Summit. Tinubu attended the summit, during which he endorsed the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty. The Nigerian leader also held bilateral talks with the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, who praised reforms by President Tinubu. A delegation comprising the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, the Minister of Livestock Development, and the Minister of Arts, Tourism, Culture, and Creativity accompanied Tinubu to the summit. President Bola Tinubu has been urged to assent to the Road Reform Bill. Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers made the call at its 2024 International Conference and Annual General Meeting held in Abuja. The bill, according to the Institute, it aims to revolutionize the country's transportation infrastructure by ensuring the development and maintenance of a high-quality road network accepted to improve transportation efficiency, boost economic growth, and enhance road safety across Nigeria. National Chairman of the Institute, Engineer Saidu Hassan, speaking at the meeting, noted that the bill had been passed by both the 8th and 9th National Assemblies and is currently undergoing review by the 10th Assembly. The Northern Elders Forum has rejected the tax reform bill, calling it a policy conceived in bad faith and warning that it threatens national cohesion. The group criticized the manner of its implementation, alleging that key stakeholders, including members of the National Economic Council, were sidelined during the process. A convener of the forum, Professor Ango Abdullahi, in a communique after the forum's Board of Trustees' second biannual meeting in Abuja, warned against dubious policies that could further malign the Northern resources potential. The forum lauded the Northern States Governors Forum and the Northern Nigerian Council of Traditional Rulers for opposing the bill, describing their stance as patriotic, while urging Northern politicians in the National Assembly to speak out against it. President Tinubu has written to the Senate seeking confirmation of Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyide's appointment as the substantive Chief of Army Staff. This was contained in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. In the letter, the President sought the Army Chief's confirmation in accordance with the provision of Section 218 subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 18 subsection 1 of the Armed Forces Act. Recall that President Tinubu appointed Oluyide as the acting Chief of Army Staff on October 30th following the illness of the late Lieutenant General Turid Lagbaja. The Edo State Governor Monday Okpeholo has approved the appointment of Suleiman Alede as the substantive managing director of the state-owned Edo Broadcasting Service, according to a statement by the governor's chief press secretary, Fred Itwa. The appointment will take immediate effect. The Nigerian Medical Association has said that increasing the retirement age of health workers from 60 to 65 will address the Jagba syndrome. The first vice president of the association, Dr. Benjamin Oluwejebutu, stated this when he led some members of the NMA on a courtesy visit to the House of Representative member Wale Ahmad in Abuja. The association expressed appreciation to Wale Ahmad for sponsoring the bill on harmonizing retirement age. Oluwejebutu called for speedy passage of the bill to increase the retirement age of health workers in the country from 60 to 65 and the maximum pensionable years of the service from 35 to 40. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has called on Tertiary Education Fund to extend its support to educational institutions under the Nigerian Air Force. He made the call when he paid a courtesy visit to the Tertiary Education Trust Fund headquarters in Abuja. Ramsey Agbo has details.
Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, also commended the Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Ak Soni Echonu, for his strategic initiatives, particularly the increase in the Education Trust Fund from 2.5% to 3%. He noted that his boost has significantly enhanced funding for infrastructure, research, and faculty development across Nigeria's tertiary institutions.
The TED Fund has been instrumental in advancing AFIT's mission by sponsoring institution-based research projects. Notably, the Center for Innovation and Research, guided by a subcommittee of his board, identified 10 research projects that have been sponsored through TED Fund's intervention. Additionally, TED Fund has generously funded the construction of critical infrastructure within the institute, further enhancing its capacity to deliver its mandate. Furthermore, the fund provides annual interventions across multiple areas, including ICT development, library enhancement, entrepreneurship, and staff training and career enhancement. Additionally, TED Fund has supported capacity building by sponsoring AFI staff to attend conferences both within Nigeria and internationally. We are therefore indeed very, very grateful to TED Fund.
In response, TED Fund Executive Secretary Ak Soni Echonu acknowledged the Air Force active participation in the recent National Research Fair and exhibition. He assured the Air Marshal that his request would be relayed to the Board of Trustees for consideration.
Express our profound appreciation to the Armed Forces, including the Nigerian Air Force, for your support, for your loyalty and sacrifice in keeping us safe and in supporting Mr. President to guarantee security across the length and breadth of this country. We are indeed very proud of your exploits, particularly we are following what is happening in the Northwest. And we believe that with this concerted efforts, tranquility, peace, and security will be restored to enable us to focus more.
The visit concluded on a positive note, with both parties reaffirming their commitment to advancing education in Nigeria. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global Television.
Following recent legal controversies surrounding the Rivers State financial entitlement, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation says it will adhere to court orders regarding the disbursement of federal allocations to the state. The Director of Press and Public Relations at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa, said since there is no notice of appeal, the notice of appeal has overridden the earlier court judgment, and so far it is a court order that will be obeyed. The assurance comes amid a Federal High Court ruling on October 30, 2024, which directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to withhold further monthly allocations to Rivers State. Report gathered says 6 years after former Governor Ibikunle Amosun inaugurated the MITROS RISE project with grand promises to change and position Ogun State agricultural landscape as a farming powerhouse, the 4 billion naira initiative lies in ruins. Investigations reveal that 2 abandoned rice mills sitting on a 1.2 million hectares of arable land stand as silent monuments to the state's unfulfilled potential. Recall that the former governor of Ogun State, Abikunle Amosun, had in 2017 inaugurated the MITROS RISE project and spoke with hope about the initiative. He proclaimed that the initiative would align with the federal government's agricultural growth plan and transform Ogun into a powerhouse of industrial development. The Nigerian Labour Congress Yobe State Chapter has described a circular circulating on social media platforms urging Yobe State civil servants to initiate a statewide strike as entirely false and unfounded. A statement signed by the state chairman of the NLC, Mukhtar Tabutu, noted that the joint committee comprising representatives from the government and the NLC has successfully concluded negotiations on the new minimum wage. The statement says the report has been submitted to Governor Malabuni for review and approval. In a landmark move to boost tourism and hospitality industry, Imo State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Hilton Group with the aim of repositioning the state as a destination for both business and leisure. At the signing of the MOU in Owerri, the Imo State capital, Governor Hope Uzodinma said the Hilton Group will manage Concord Hotel for the next 25 years, which formed part of agreement. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe completes the story.
The visit came shortly after a high-level security meeting held in Enugu, where leaders discussed strategies to address regional security challenges. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru Abubakar, said,
"We had meeting with his support in Enugu with all the security stakeholders, that is the youth group, the chiefs and the CSOs, all. From the southeast, and we have robust discussions, and they have contributed very well on how we can improve security in the southeast."
Addressing pressmen after the visit, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma said, with the latest development, insecurity would be minimized in the zone.
I think we are coming almost to the end of the tunnel, and we will soon see light. The thing about insurgency, kidnapping and all manner of criminalities in the southeast will soon become a thing of the past. As for the Uletide, our people, the security agencies here, they are prepared and are well equipped.
On his part, the General Officer commanding 82 Division Enugu, Major General Hassan Dada, called on the misled youths in the southeast to give up their arms and embrace peace.
We make sure that the youth are just the way it took place last year, that it will be without crime or minimal level of crime within this festive period. And for all the youths that have been misled one way or the other with the latest development, they should please come forward, give up their arms and allow peace to reign in the land. And we are there to support them. We will engage them and see how they can be useful to their own lives and make the society grow.
The visit by the Defense Minister signals renowned efforts to tackle insecurity in the southeast, as residents hope that this engagement will yield lasting peace and improve safety. From Government House, Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Islamic morality police in the northern Nigerian city of Kano are to resume their crackdown on betting shops after a Supreme Court ruling on gambling. The Nigerian Supreme Court had quashed a 2005 law that established a National Lottery Commission and legalized sports betting and gambling, ruling that gambling regulation is a matter for state government. Abba Sufi, the Director General of Hisbah in Kano State, one of the 12 dominating Muslim Nigerian states in which Islamic Sharia is used alongside federal law, has said that the Hisbah will resume clampdown on betting shops with renewed determination since betting is illegal under Kano State Sharia law. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum has called on for a comprehensive review of Nigeria's education system in order to address the disconnect between educational institutions and the needs of industries. The governor made this statement during a courtesy visit by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Educational Loan Fund, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer at the Government House, Maiduguri. He expressed concern that many graduates produced by higher institutions lack the necessary skills to drive innovation and technological advancement, urging NEL Fund to critically assess this issue and implement solutions that enable graduates to become self-employed rather than depend on limited job opportunities. The federal government is taking comprehensive steps to end insecurity in the southeast region. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, disclosed this in Imo State Government House, Owerri, when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Hope Uzodinma. Correspondent Amarachi Ibe completes the report.
The visit came shortly after a high-level security meeting held in Enugu, where leaders discussed strategies to address regional security challenges. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badru Abubakar, said,
"We had meeting with his support in Enugu with all the security stakeholders, that is the youth group, the chiefs and the CSOs, all from the southeast, and we have robust discussions, and they have contributed very well on how we can improve security in the southeast."
Addressing pressmen after the visit, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma said, with the latest development, insecurity would be minimized in the zone.
I think we are coming almost to the end of the tunnel, and we will soon see light. The thing about insurgency, kidnapping, and all manner of criminalities in the southeast will soon become a thing of the past. As for the Yuletide, our people, the security agencies here, they are prepared and are well equipped.
On his part, the General Officer commanding 82 Division Enugu, Major General Hassan Dada, called on the misled youths in the southeast to give up their arms and embrace peace.
We make sure that the youth, just the way it took place last year, that it will be without crime or minimal level of crime within this festive period. And for all the youths think that have been misled one way or the other with the latest development, they should please come forward, give up their arms, and allow peace to reign in the land. And we are there to support them. We will engage them and see how they can be useful to their own lives and make the society grow.
The visit by the Defense Minister signals renewed efforts to tackle insecurity in the southeast, as residents hope that this engagement will yield lasting peace and improve safety. From Government House, Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The commissioners for the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs in Northwest states have called on their state governors to include them in the Security Council meetings, enabling them to contribute to tackling the insecurity plaguing the region. The call was part of their resolution at the Northwest Commissioners for Women and Children Roundtable discussion titled Harnessing Women's Voices for Lasting Peace, held in Kaduna. According to the commissioners, involving them in such meetings would amplify women's voices and ensure effective representation in decision-making processes. The commissioners from the 7 states in the region who attended the meeting also agreed to collaborate across various sectors to promote sustainable development and empowerment as resilience mechanisms to strengthen peace and security. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When the Midday News returns, federal government trains 541 youths in modern agri skills. Details of these as well as foreign and sports stories coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break in business. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawonde, says the federal government has trained 541 youths in modern agricultural techniques to combat unemployment in the country. A statement by the Director of Press noted that the minister stated this in the closing of the training program held at the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center in Jos, Plateau State. Olawande disclosed that the training organized by the Ministry of Youth Development focused on skills such as cassava processing, beef keeping, and fishery. A digital security technology and financial expert, Dr. Kingsley Chibuzo Agworu, has expressed opposition to calls for the approval of cryptocurrency digital payment system due to their potential to breach national financial regulations. Agworu, however, commended the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to put the e-naira over the decentralized cryptocurrencies. The expert in a statement pointed out that approving cryptocurrency for national use would contravene Nigeria's existing financial regulations, as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin operate as unregulated and decentralized assets. The European Union raised an offer by rich nations to help poor countries worst hit by climate change to $300 billion a year in a bid to salvage talks that the developing world warned were on the brink of collapse. Developing nations bearing the brunt of the rising drought had rejected an initial offer of $250 billion per year by 2035, but two negotiators said the EU was urging that wealthy countries raise the sum to $300 billion. Negotiators worked through the night in a wind-down sports stadium in the Caspian Sea city of Baku in search for a compromise as the two-week UN climate talks dragged into an extra day. A senior administrative official has said that at least 32 people were killed and 47 wounded in a sectarian clash in northwest Pakistan. This comes 2 days after the attacks on Shiite passenger convoys killed 43. Sporadic fighting between the Sunni and Shiite Muslims in the mountainous Khyber province bordering Afghanistan has killed around 150 over the past month. Russia has a stock of powerful new missiles ready to be used, President Vladimir Putin has said, a day after his country fired a new ballistic missile at the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. The Russian leader said the Oresnik missile could not be intercepted and promised to carry out more tests, including a combat conditions. Russia's use of the Onyx capped a week of escalation in the war that also saw Ukraine fire US and British missiles into Russia for the first time. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called for world leaders to give a serious response to that Putin feels the real consequences of his action. In sports, Bayer Leverkusen winger Jonas Hoffmann has been ruled out of the remainder of the 2024 season with a thigh injury, the club announced. The attacker suffered a muscle injury in his right thigh in yesterday's final training session. The defending league and the cup champions said in a statement. Hoffmann is expected to return to the squad in the beginning of January. The English Premier League has unveiled the official dates for the 2025-2026 season. The announcement emphasizes a renewed commitment to player welfare, particularly during the congested festive period. The new campaign will kick off on Saturday, August 16, 2025, with the final match round slated for Sunday, May 24, 2026, ensuring a thrilling season from start to finish. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nikonsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNJ. I am Anthony Momodu. Thank you for watching.